Welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Hi everyone, Danny here. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be the second part of my subscriber recommended reading vlogs. That's a lot of words to fit in. But I wanted to show you. So I kind of tried to do like a reorganization of those brand new shelves that I got. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen me put those shelves together, but not so much like put books on them. And I tried to do like a reorganization thing to show you that. And if you can see behind me, you can see a lot of my shelves are like missing a lot of books because I've moved some books, so I'm gonna have to reorganize all of my shelves again. But I won't do that on camera because it's just kind of moving things around. But I did want to end up showing you like what I came up with, because I don't think I'm actually gonna put that video up because it just didn't work out the way I thought it would. The lighting was weird, the angle was weird, so I'm just gonna show you right now what I ended up doing. Then you can kind of see a better idea. And I do apologize, I don't have my big fat box light on any of this, so it might be a little dim for you, but okay. So all together, these are the two shelves that I ended up getting for my shower, and I ended up putting books on them. And what I ended up doing is on this like tree shelf, I ended up taking them by colors, and these are all books that I have read. So what I tried to do is take all of the books that I had read off of my main shelf, so that my main shelves only harbored books that I have not yet read, so that I have a better idea. And then on this one, which is like a wall one, these are actually books that I haven't read, but they're all classics. So these are all classic books on this shelf here. So lots of books that I still need to get to read, but they're all like smaller since the shelves are kind of smaller, and those are all the books that I still do need to read. So that's ended up how that all looked like. So let's talk a little bit about like what I am up to and what I have actually read, because it has been a little bit of a weird week because I have not done a lot of vlogging during the week. Obviously, this is the first time you guys have seen me yet this week, which is like Saturday. So I, being someone who works full-time, I don't get a lot of time to film things during the week. By the time I get home, it's pretty late. I'm ready to get dinner, and then we're sitting down, and then usually I have to edit something. So when you guys see me, it's typically the weekend. So I was able to finish the Mia Sosa book, which was The Worst Best Man, and I liked it. I think I gave it a 4, and I think the reason why I liked it was the fact that it really had the two main characters dealing with internal issues of their own, whereas I feel like a lot of romance novels, like, they might have issues that they're dealing with, but they're really superficial and it's like nothing. This one I really felt a lot of characters could really relate to, and they did it in such a way that it made sense and it was realistic. So I really liked that. I liked the characters a lot. Both Max and Lena were just really, I really liked them. I liked them a lot. And you know, even though the male character, his narration was so bad, his friend Dean was so funny. I really liked his friend Dean. I would love to see like a spin-off with him because he was really funny. And then I don't think I told you this last time, but I did finish Gift from a Sea. So I did finish that one. So those are two that I finished. One was a physical book, one is an audiobook. I have been reading The Magic Casement, and what that one is, so I'm reading that in ebook, which is really hard for me because it's on my phone and it's like one sentence per page, so it's like taking me a little bit to get into just because of the format. But I just came up to a spot in the book that it's like, ooh, and it's like literally, if you probably open the book, it's probably like page 5, but anywho, it's about this like young girl, and I think she's like a princess maybe, and she is looking for her father in the castle, like not like on a quest or anything, but like looking for him to do something, and she like finds him and someone else, like she can hear them talking through like this fake door thing, and they're saying something about her not being ready or something like that. So like something's about to go down. So I am excited to get back into that one. I don't really know what that one's about because I've only had access to it on ebook, so I don't have a lot of preface on that, but I am going to get more into that sometime this week. I did get pretty far into Star of Fortune. I'm about almost done. I have, I'd say probably 100 pages left. Yeah, I have about 100 pages left. It's a Nora Roberts book. It's pretty good. I remember now why I've always liked Nora Roberts. The way the characters are written and the way that there's always multiple layers, and I'm really enjoying it. It's such an easy read. You just kind of blast right through it. The characters are always so charming, and yeah, it's good. I like it. It's basically it's about these 6 people that basically have found each other because they're destined to find one another, to find these stars that centuries ago were like taken from the sky, and one represents fire, one represents ice, and one represents water, which to me ice and water are the same thing. So that was kind of like, couldn't you have done like fire, water, earth, or air, not like ice and water? Like that to me is like, that's the same thing. But anywho, that's not the point. It is pretty good so far. I have been enjoying it, and gosh, did I get into anything else yet? I don't think so. But I did just download Woman is No Man by Etaf Rum. Is that what it is? Etaf Rum? Yeah, so that's going to be my next audio, and I'm really excited because tomorrow, which is Sunday, I'm going to visit Laura, because Laura is going to help me with my wedding invitations. She's helped me with the labels, and we're going to be sticking labels on wedding invitations and getting those mailed out. And so when I drive down to her, it's about an hour and a half, so I'm going to be able to get a lot of audio in, so I'm really excited for that. And then on my way back too, I'll be able to get another hour and a half, so I'll get a solid 3 hours of audiobook listening in tomorrow, which will be a lot of fun. And then I did take off Monday from work to get some things done, so I will have a little bit of extra time to read, so I'm excited about that as well. So it'll be fine. I think for this vlog you're going to see me traveling a lot, which will be nice for you guys, so it's something a little bit different. But again, I'm glad that I put these in parts because I can tell already I'm already in 10 minutes here, and I haven't even done anything. Hey friends, I am back in the car because today I am going to visit Laura from Book Bubbler. This was kind of an impromptu visit because I needed help with my wedding invitation labels. I know you think I'm savvy on things, but I'm really not when it comes to that. I know everything about Word except for mail merge and labels. So Laura has been gracious enough to help me with that. So I'm driving down. I have all my invitations for my wedding in a box, and we are going to stuff and stamp and label and get them all out for Monday. I stopped at my amazing Quick Trip and got a breakfast sandwich. It's actually a breakfast burger, So it has like, you guys are gonna be like, you're so gross, Danny. But so it has this like piece of bacon, there's egg, and then like a burger on there. So it's like got all the food groups. And there's cheese on here too. I'm gonna put some ketchup on it. Yeah, I know, I'm gross, whatever. I'm hungry, I need some sustenance for the long drive, and it is what it is. I also am going to be listening to another subscriber recommendation. This one comes from Kayla at Kayla with the Books. Kayla and the Books. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I'll put it in the description below. I'm going to be listening to Etaf Rum's, I think that's the name of it, book, A Woman Is No Man. And I have it on my Hoopla account. And what is so amazing about this account is that literally, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but right here, so like right there, it'll literally show you the chapter and who is speaking. When I started to listen to the book, it mentioned a couple different actor names for reading the book, and I was like, oh no, they're gonna skip different timelines, and they're gonna skip to different characters. But what's so nice about how this particular audiobook is set up is it's going to give you exactly who's speaking, where they are, and what year it is. So that some audiobooks are so awesome. This is like stellar. I'm so excited to be able to have that on there. Some won't even tell you what chapter it's in. It's just one long thing, which those stink, especially if you are going from reading the physical book to changing to an audiobook. You're like, wait a minute, I'm on chapter 15. How do I know where I'm at? And it doesn't have that. So I'm super thrilled to have that, especially for this kind of book. So I'll be reading this. I typically read at a higher speed, so my playback speed is at 1.75 right now. The book itself is, I just closed it, I'm sorry, is about, 10 hours long. So today with driving, I should be able to get a good chunk in, like probably at least a quarter of the book done, if not half of it done when I come back. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to be listening to this, driving down, see Laura, and then I'll also see my mom. So yeah, it'll be a good day. Okay, so I officially made it to Laura's house. I am in the driveway. She'll probably come out here in a second to be like, hey girlfriend, and help me carry in some stuff here. I brought a lot of candy with me because girls need some candy while they're doing some stuff. But I just wanted to give you a quick update. So I got to, like I expected, probably a quarter of the way through A Woman Is No Man, and the story is very interesting. I am enjoying it in the sense that it's a perspective that I've not ever read before. Meaning, like, I don't think I've really ever read from the perspective of an Arab protagonist. So to be hearing about the culture and the responsibilities and the requirements and just the differences between men and women, and this particular woman who has come to America after being married, and how the perception is that it's going to be different, and then it isn't at all, is very interesting. So right now we're hearing two perspectives, one from the past, which is the mother, Isra, and then fast forward to like 2008, around that time, to the daughter, Data. I think that's how you say it. I'm not remembering it right now, but it's interesting to hear their perspectives about marriage, about love, about their place in the world, the difference between men and women. I'm fascinated right now. I'm very interested in hearing all this, especially on the cusp of my own wedding and why I would get married as an American woman, and what my place in a marriage is. It's really like, I think reading this right now, it's
really making me think about a lot of different things. And so right now I'm enjoying it. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm about a little past the quarter mark. So by the time I get home tonight, I'll probably be a little bit past the halfway point. So yeah, I'm gonna get inside and start getting some wedding invitations done.
Hi!
Hang on. Hi!
I'm here with Laura from Book Bubbler,
Hey.
my very good friend. And some of you might be asking yourselves, were we friends before or after BookTube? After. We literally found each other through BookTube and have become really super great friends. Mm-hmm. I'm actually at Laura's house today because I needed help with my labels for my wedding invitations, and I think I said that in an earlier clip, so I won't repeat myself. But we have gotten through all of my wedding invitations. This is only about half of them, and we're about to do the licking part.
Just what you want to watch.
We're not actually going to lick them. I have these super awesome little rolly things that we'll put water in, and then we'll do that. So there won't be any dying like on Seinfeld. So.
Poor Susan.
Yeah, poor Susan. She was kind of a witch anyways. Anywho, I made sure I brought plenty of candy. So we have Snickers and Milky Way and Twix and Twizzlers and more Twizzlers and some fruit slices. So just in case we need some sustenance, we've got all the food groups.
Or a diabetic coma, whatever. You know.
And we have some tea.
It's a little alcoholic, you know. Not bad.
There's a little bit of alcohol in it. But, so
Yeah.
we're just going to go ahead and get these all wet and go from there. See you guys in the next clip. Okay, so I just finished at my mom's house, and like any good visit to your mother, you end up leaving with a ton of things, mostly books, which is awesome. So I figured instead of bringing this all home and stacking it in my room, I would just show you right now so that I can get it over and done with, and you all love a good book haul. So all of these books were free to me. I also got a huge haul from my mom's next door neighbor. She was kind enough to give me books that she was going to give away to a local thrift store, but decided to ask me first if I wanted any of them, and I did. So I'm just going to show you what I have picked up. My mom got a ton of books at thrift stores. We have Last of the Mohicans. I have not read this, but I've seen the Daniel Day-Lewis version that was made many, many years ago, probably over 20 years ago now. But wanted to get the book and see what the similarities were, so we have that. My mom also picked me up a Lemony Snicket. Now this is missing its dust jacket, but that's okay. It's the second in that What Are the Questions books. This one specifically is called All the Wrong Questions. So we're going to add that to my other one. I think I have the first one. Back to Shakespeare, we have The Tempest. I've not read this, so I'm excited to get into that. Also some Hamlet. I have not read this, but I think it's pretty easy to say we all know what the story is. Then we have some awesome books from a rummage sale. She got me, this is so cool, guys. Look at this. It's one of those older books. It is Miss Marple. So we have Miss Marple Meets Murder. So it's an Agatha Christie full of those stories. I'm really excited for this. I have not ever read any Agatha Christie. I am reading Murder on the Orient Express this next month with a buddy from my book club. We're going to do a buddy read of Murder on the Orient Express, so I'm excited about that. That'll be my first Agatha Christie book that I've ever read. Obviously we know the stories, but that's it. Then again, more Shakespeare, guys. I have 2 volumes of Shakespeare, so these are the complete works, William Shakespeare, all the plays, all the poems, and I have volumes 1 and 2. So I think I'll probably have some duplicates, but it's nice to have them all in one spot. It has the red sprayed edges, so you know it's old. Then this one is super cool. I've never seen this before, but the Sherlockian, I
I mean, come on, how can you pass this up? This is awesome. It's like the question mark, it's a pipe. Do you see this? It's a pipe. This is gonna be fun to read. I'm excited about this. Literally, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm nervous. Inside the front cover is a post-it that says, meh. Does that mean the book isn't good? Well, we'll find out. Then these ones, now when my mom, she'll usually send me a picture of books that she sees and she'll say like which ones. And on the spines, all I saw was Kipling. Now, if you know who Kipling is, he is a poet. And you're like, yay, Kipling. Yeah, I don't know what this stuff is, but it's definitely not him. It's this weird, a selection of his stories and poems by John Beecroft. I don't know, guys. I have no idea what this is. But Kipling must be a character in this. So now I have 2 books that I have no idea. But again, look at some sprayed edges. So, and this one, look at the cover of that. Doesn't she look beautiful? So needless to say, not what I expected, but maybe some new favorite stories. Who knows? Then on to the books that I got from my mom's neighbor. So in bag number 1. Now I totally forgot what I all asked for, but let's see. Ooh, Thornbirds. Do you guys remember this show from like the 80s? Yeah, super creepy. I think it's a priest and like a, you know, young girl getting down, really creepily like. So let's read about it. Then we have these books, which I have never read these cat books. Okay, who has read these? I've seen them out there. I've seen some people talk about it, but I never myself have read them. So Lillian Jackson Brown, The Cat Who Talked Turkey. Really, really, really small. So I think these will be nice short reads. I want to see what they're all about. So I have that one. I have The Cat Who Brought Down the House. Okay. I have The Cat Who Sang for the Birds. And then let's see. The Cat Who Could Read Backwards, 8 Danish Modern, Turned On and Off. 3 novels complete. Again, I've never read any of these guys, so I'm interested to see what those are all about. I have one more in here in this bag. We have The Cat Who Smelled a Rat. So I'm guessing these are probably like mysteries of some kind, and we'll find out together. We have another bag here. This one looks fun. We have little stories for children in this one. I thought they were really cute. They're little boxes. Can you see that? I know I'm losing light real fast, guys. I'm sorry, but these are Raggedy Ann and Andy. So they're little tiny cardboard stories. I figured I could put these out on my wedding and little kids can, you know, play with them, and I wouldn't worry about if they got ruined or not because I didn't have to pay for them. So that's cool. Then we also have, oh, I was so excited about this one. So this is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Now this is a Netflix show. I started to watch it and couldn't get into it. Look at how big this book is. It's so ginormous. I'm really excited to read this one. I heard that this story, oh my God, you guys, the words are so small. This is ridiculous. Can you even see that? No, because it's basically minuscule. I will need a magnifying glass to read this book. Okay. Oh, here we got another cat. Cat Who Blew the Whistle. Okay. And then last but not least, we have the sequel to Gone with the Wind. I had no idea this existed. So this one's called Scarlet. It's the sequel to Gone with the Wind, another chunkster. I have not yet read Gone with the Wind. It's one on my bucket list. So I figured why not pick up the sequel and see what that's all about too, sometime in my lifetime. That's all the books that I have. Again, free. I didn't have to pay for any of this. Okay, so we are on our way to do a couple of errands today. You saw in the last clip, I got all those books for my mom and my mom's neighbor, all for free, which, I mean, there seriously is nothing better than free. That's so awesome. I don't know where I'm gonna put all of those books, but I will find a place. Right now we are going to put wedding invitations in the post office, and then one of the books that I had on hold at the library has been available for the last couple days, so I'm gonna stop by there and pick that up. It's that Gilded Age, or no, the Golden Age. It was a comic, or not comic, but graphic novel that Laura from Book Bubbler had read, and it looked really good, something that I'd be interested in, so I wanted to do that. And then we will go to DSW for some shoes, and yeah, so it'll be a good day.
Hi guys, back in my kitchen. I am making salsa. So in an earlier clip I had mentioned how my mom's neighbor had given me a bunch of books. Well, the neighbor on the other side ended up giving me a bunch of tomatoes and jalapenos and some cucumbers and some garlic, and I'm like all about some salsa, so I'm gonna be making some salsa. But I thought I would kind of end this vlog here and kind of tell you some of the updates that I had. Like I mentioned, I did stop at the library today and picked up The Golden Age, which is another graphic novel. I don't know why, but I've just been devouring graphic novels lately, so that has been a lot of my time doing that. I am going to be making some salsa today, like I said. But on top of reading all of those awesome graphic novels, I have been reading a lot of all of my subscriber recommendations. I did, like I said, start the A Woman Is No Man, and I'm about a little bit past the halfway point now. When I was coming back home, I was able to get through a lot of that, and I have to say I'm really enjoying it. It's not a perspective I've read before. The storyline is really intriguing. I like how it jumps around to different points of view, and we can really get a great understanding of the mother's point of view as well as the mother-in-law's point of view now, and then the daughter's point of view. And it's just, if you have not yet read a story like this about the Arab culture, I guess their ideas of, from what I understand from this book, obviously fiction is not education, but really getting an understanding of keeping cultures alive and what that means and what marriage means and what your relationship with your husband means. I mean, there are a lot of thought-provoking ideas in this book. So let me wash a few of these veggies, and I'll give you a few ideas or thoughts on what I'm reading. Okay, so not only was I doing the listening of that audiobook for A Woman Is No Man, I also had been reading the Nora Roberts book. I believe it's the Guardians trilogy, and it's based in like Greece or that area, because they're going to be moving now. But I did finish that book, and that was a recommendation from Laura at Book Bubbler, and I'm so happy to have come back to Nora Roberts, because I haven't read her in quite some time, and I used to devour her series of books that she would put out, and I just kind of got away from it for a little while. Another subscriber, Erica, kind of mentioned the same thing, like you kind of grew out of it almost, and then now coming back to it, it's like I'm remembering. It's like it's as if you're riding a bike. You get how she sets up the scene, how she introduces her characters. There's always like, you always know who's gonna be with who, because the storyline just fleshes it out really well, where you're like, oh, okay, these two are gonna be mated or suited, as well as these ones. And you always know, like, okay, so the first book is always about the people who are most open to love, and then the second book is always like the two that are like the most charismatic, and then the third book is always the two that like don't believe in love, or they don't like each other. And it's very, you know where all the pieces are and how they're supposed to play out. So it's nice. It's like a fallback almost. So I did read it. I did enjoy it. I will probably end up giving it a 3 because, like I said, it's like, I wouldn't say like predictable, but you know how it's going to work out. You know how she's going to play to all these characters' strengths. You know how they're going to react to one another. So yeah, it's a good one. I'll definitely continue in the series because it's just so nice to know what you're reading and know what to expect. And yeah, so I like Nora Roberts' writing. So that's pretty much what I finished. So far, reading those stories, the audiobooks. I am also doing a buddy read with Emily at Novell Novels and Ange over at Ange with an E. We're reading North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, and I'm about halfway through that book right now, and it's great. It's so funny how much of a bulldog the mother is in this story. And this, I'm talking about the mother of the man, the Thorntons. She is just a powerhouse of a woman and like takes no prisoners and just she says what she is thinking. And we were kind of laughing about her. She kind of reminds us of the old woman in Downton Abbey, where it's just kind of like, I'm old, I'm in charge, and deal with it. I don't care what you think. But yet still has a heart when it comes to her children. So really liking that. I will probably be continuing on that and trying to get that done because Emily has surpassed us by quite a bit. She's already done with it. So we're trying to stay on top of that so we can interact on that story. It's, you know, obviously a classic, and definitely gives you all that classic feeling from what you would expect of a book like that. Definitely before it's time. It makes me want to kind of jump into Upton Sinclair's The Jungle, because I feel like it's going to have a lot of the same notes about, you know, labor and what that means. And I think Upton Sinclair, I think his is about meat packing in the Americas. So I would be really interested to read that. It's a chunkster of a book. So if you're interested, if you are looking to read something like that and you're like, ooh, I better read that with you, Danny, let me know, because I have it. I have not read it. And now that I'm reading North and South and these, you know, strikes and labor kind of ideas about, you know, what is fair and everything, it really makes me want to read that one. So yeah, let me know if that's something you would be interested in. So far so good on all of my subscriber recommendations. It looks like I have like 4 more books to read from what I have in there. Now that I finished another physical book, I'll be starting Flatshare, which was a recommendation from Emily at Novell Novels. So I'll be starting that one next. I'm still trying to read The Magic Casement, and it's not for the lack of trying, and it's not because the book is a poor book. It's because it's an ebook format, and that's literally the hardest format for me to read in, because it's on my phone. It's very hard to, you know, navigate. So I've really been having kind of a hard time with that one just because of that, which I'm going to have to try a little harder on, because otherwise I'll never get it done. And then, yeah, I'll kind of go from there, finish the Woman is No Man. Once I'm finished with that, I'll be moving on to the last audiobook that I have from subscriber recommendations, which will be Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse. So I will be getting into that one after A Woman is No Man. So just wanted to catch up with you briefly. I'm sorry that I have no eye contact in here, but I am also multitasking because this girl needs some salsa. So I hope you are all having a wonderful day, whatever day it is and what time of day it is. I hope you're reading something great and taking care, staying safe. And until next time, guys, you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.